Okay, here we go again. Okay, the conundrum. You can see how it forms spiritually. So we are on a planet that has no good to give. That's reality. I'm sorry that your lives are so peachy keen that you can't get to that reality. Or maybe the fact is that your lives could be so peachy keen. However, if you could look at people through the eyes of God, through the heart of God, instead of through a dark glass, or a glass darkly, you might see more of what I'm saying. I do find that the communities here appear to be more biblical and more God-focused. And I'm saying that like this, so you don't misunderstand what I'm saying, because I'm not speaking churchy language. I'm speaking Bible. They're sinners saved by grace. They're probably a bigger sinner than you because your mind is telling you that they are. Or Satan is in your mind telling you that they are. But yet they know where God is and know who God is. And they know you're not God, and they know the church is not God. And they know the government's not God. They know that the FBI can't tell them any truth higher than God. So on and so forth. So, why couldn't God bring me here? And not to say I'm going to stay here. But why couldn't God bring me here 15 years ago? Because God couldn't do it. Based upon what? Based upon the highest intelligence, the highest level of operation that could ever be. Remember, God's ways are higher. And of course, I've explained some of that, how those that oppose God would cause spiritual loss if God were to move out of turn. Again, that's part of the deep state game also. So again, there's these likenesses between the deep state and Satan's operations, and they're in actuality one and the same. All right, I have to go to Ross. God has me assigned to heal Rosses, no matter how poorly some of them treat me. Because as I'm speaking to you, I passed by Ross, and God reminded me that I wasn't to pass by Ross. I have to at least step in and heal the place. Again, there are rules on this planet for healing locations and people. Because of course God could heal the whole planet with one thought. So that's what you're working through. And the conundrum says what? You're working through it, but as you work through it, it's going to try to destroy you. Of course, we can't live forever. On earth, that is. And I still believe for a wealthy person, President Trump does well. Because if you've been around wealthy people, you know how ignorant they can be. And this is the funny part. People with a lot of money think people that are poor, generally uneducated, are ignorant. But if you listen to people who are poor and uneducated, they find the wealthy people ignorant. So again, you see how this world is actually structured. And you are ignorant to a lot of things. Some of the most intelligent things I have ever heard were from people that were considered ignorant and uneducated. And then vice versa. Some of the most ignorant things you could ever hear come straight out of DOJ, FBI, Horowitz, and everyone else. Highly educated, highly regarded people. So again, if you're not feeling as a pilgrim, you have to ask yourself, why not? Don't tell yourself that you're a pilgrim because people are getting married that are gay. Because you're skirting the thought process that you need to have to figure out what I just said. Because to begin with, there are those that have caused homosexuality. And it's at the physical level at this point. There are people that tried to gay people because they're part of the deep state and they're part of the Christianity, and they work with the church to do it at times, whether the church knows what they're doing or not. So again, how do you think God views all of this? Filthy rags. That's what's going on the planet. So you should feel like a pilgrim, like you shouldn't be here at all. I mean, you shouldn't even feel comfortable in your church, mostly. I mean, you could like a few people, but you shouldn't feel comfortable. You should say, hey, what are we doing here? This is not a place for anybody. This is what keeps Earth going. You keep believing that this place has a redeemable value. You will it up. You've willed Earth up so God can't destroy it. You see all the liberals going crazy. They don't want it destroyed. Well, praise God in all that you do. Praise God.